Today is Election Day 2024. We're
Yes.
recording this the day of. We don't know what's going to happen tonight. The world might end.
A day where everyone really is not tense.
Is loving each other.
Just a good overall.
There's some
unity.
animosity in this room, possibly, even. That's as far as we're going to go down that road.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am done.
That's
I'm out of
terrible.
here.
Kiko
I'm
just
done.
walked out.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the City Stage and Friends podcast. I'm Victor Johansson, along with Josiah Shostrom and Francisco Corrales in the engineering room. It has been how many months since we've done a podcast?
I think it's been 4 months
It's been 4 months.
since we put one out there.
It has been, I mean, for me, and I know Kiko is very, very busy. I think it was the same for you. One of the busiest summers I've ever had. I was working basically nonstop for a couple of months. So that is the reason we have not been able to schedule a podcast, but we're back at it. We actually have a couple really cool people lined up after this as well. We want to get back in the swing of things because this is important to us. I know, obviously, we don't make any money off of this, but I think it's really, not only is it fun to have conversations
But
and
hop on our
perspectives.
Patreon
Yeah.
page.
Coming soon. No, but it's important to have these conversations. I think it's good for us. It's good for the people that are in here, and hopefully you guys get some value out of it. So we're back. We're back in the saddle. We're excited about a lot of different things. But I thought it would be really fun to kind of sit down and just do a little bit of a summer recap. Kiko, we've lined up kind of some of the images from basically the summer. And we're going to go through those, just talk about the projects that we're involved in.
And also probably, was it late spring? I forget when we released our last one, but we
Yeah.
had recorded them prior to releasing them, so we really haven't. We've had quite a bit of stuff
Yeah.
between when we actually recorded our last podcast and this one. I think NAB was possibly after,
Yeah, we had,
or maybe we had
Taylor.
freshly come back from.
We had
NAB.
Taylor on. That was the last one. But anyway, I thought it would be fun to talk about some of the projects. So, because there has been a lot of really cool stuff that has happened here at the studio, and then individually that we were involved. Because here, as a summary, we all work together on projects, the three of us, along with other creatives.
Not as a company, we're just
Correct.
freelancers, but we happen to be friends, and we get each other on projects, and that's just kind of how the
And-
freelance world works.
And locals in Rockford as well. When bigger
Yeah.
projects come into town, have more budget, we're able to all get together, and it's the best. But we also do projects that we have contacts from years ago, and we're doing them all ourselves.
Or contacts where you just don't want to work with each other.
True that. It's been too many days in a row. But you, Josiah, so you've been executive producer on a couple projects. You gaff. And then you're also managing the studio a lot of time as well. Kiko, I know. What are the different things you do?
Well, I've been gripping for a while now, working with Josiah mainly, but I do work with other people. But this summer, actually this year,
Why don't you cut to camera 4?
I'm going to do it in post.
he's going to do it in post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Make it easier for me because he loves
He's got
me.
a lot going on in there.
This year, I started doing sound on-set mixing, which I love. Really, is something that I enjoy. I enjoy the pressure. So yeah, I started doing that.
The one-man department.
The one-man department.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's some real pressure.
yeah. I gotta remember to sit a little more when I do that, so I can be a real sound guy.
Yeah, sound guys. If you see a sound guy standing, don't take him too seriously.
No, so I try to sit as much.
They
as
want
I
it too badly.
But yeah, Grippin, I gaffed a couple of small projects because I'm not Mr. Dapper Gaffer there, which he pretty much taught me everything I know, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I've been doing that, Grippin, a little gaffing, and some sound.
That's right.
And you're also a podcast engineer and some
Podcast
social
engineer.
media stuff as well, right?
Which that title is huge for me because, engineers, much respect for engineers, and I push buttons.
Yeah. Yeah. And this,
Got a degree in podcast engineering,
but
Soon to be forklift operator.
really?
Licensed.
certified.
Are you
certified.
actually?
I'm going to.
Why?
I had that title before. Anyways, after working,
Lots of titles, lots of letters behind his name. Kiko's a big deal. Okay.
no, working on like the Park View project, using that lift and everything like that, I want to like get more into it so I can work on projects like that a little more. So I want to get licensed and all that. So
yeah, that's a good call actually. And I know for me, I have my own production company. I'll be a camera assistant, but a lot of my things are swing positions where it's an AC, but I'm also, helping with lighting, some of the more run and gun style shoots. My buddy John and I, we travel a lot, and that's just the name of the game. 2-3 people. Kiko, you were on a couple of the projects with us.
I was, yeah.
So it's been a summer. Actually,
John Cameron, shout out.
Yes,
what's his
shout
company
out.
name? Joker
Media.
Joker
Joker
Media.
Crew, actually.
Joker Crew.
Joker Crew now.
There you go.
But yeah, it's just a lot of different things that we're involved in, and most recently, a project we all worked on, I was talent, which was unexpected even for me. Acting is something
we tried to get him doing some grip work too, but he's just had this real haughty attitude. We were beneath him.
It was fun looking down on you.
Metaphorically.
Thank you for the word. But I think this would be a good place to start. I think this year, I came into the year, Igor, who we're going to have on the podcast as well later this month. Yeah.
Good dude.
Igor and I had a video call at the beginning of the year, and he asked me some really good questions just about what do I see myself doing? Where do I see the summer going or the year at that point, kind of New Year's resolution type stuff. And, I didn't have a lot of, I couldn't answer those questions like super honestly because you go into a point where you're a little bit stagnant, I think. And I don't know how you guys feel about this. And you just go job to job to job and not necessarily like a plan of things you want to learn, things you want to get out of the year, projects and people you want to meet. So that made me think a little bit. And then I think probably somewhere in the springtime, I all of a sudden started putting actual goals for myself. And I didn't have a big overarching goal like some people do. I want to be in charge of a company and I want to have 6 people. I want to have, this much money coming in so I can support all these people. That's never been really my goal. I want to work on cool things. I want to have fun. I want to work with people I like. That's some of the major ones. But for me,
check.
Yeah, no, right. But then I decided to, one of the things I've been needing is a car. And this sounds as stupid as it is, but I set my goal to, I want to make this much money. I want to get this car.
This $90,000 car. It's talking about.
It's not quite that much. And I think it was important for me to have that goal because I worked very, very hard. I mean, for 4 months, it was nonstop. I worked weekends. I was traveling. So I think the point of that whole rant was just some of the things that we took away from the summer. And for me, I think it was just setting goals, even though they might seem a little trite and not important. To me, pushing for that goal was kind of a big reason why I was so busy in the summer. And I think one of the things that come out of changing your mindset into that, to me, is that things kind of come to you. Because I had a lot of unexpected work. A lot of the work that came in was just new people I'd met and jobs that I didn't would have never thought I'd gotten or been traveling to. So I think the takeaway for me was, to some extent, you pull in what you think about in a way. Does that make sense?
From the ether?
Kind of.
This is sounding very...
It is. And I don't know how to really explain it other than you just kind of align yourself with the universe. I don't know what it would be, but to me... Kiko,
this is now a new age.
Well, we talked about this, Kiko, on the ride in. It's like you kind of draw. I know it's kind of the law of attraction type of stuff, but I do think there's some power in that. Whether it's you aligning yourself to, I don't know what it would be, but to me, that's the importance is to set goals, even if they're small and might not seem like they're big. To me, having that goal, setting it, and pushing towards that was a huge impact on the summer.
If you don't have a goal,
yeah,
how do you know if you're headed in the right direction?
Yeah,
you're just coasting, and it's easy to do. You've been in
super easy
industry for a while, so you don't maybe have to pound the pavement as much. Jobs just kind of come in, but you're just like, you wake up one day and you're like, well, what am I actually doing? Am I heading in a direction that I want to head, or am I just taking whatever happens to come my way?
Yeah.
So I get that.
And I think that's, for me, I'm still, obviously, that word salad that just came out of my mouth. It's like I'm still trying to figure out what it is that you do in order to draw in the type of work. And I don't know whether it's just the experience and trying to be a good person and trying to do good work. But yeah, the goals to me have been huge. Kiko, we were talking about that. I don't know if you remember in the vehicle.
Yeah, we were. We have some great conversations, by the way, when we travel for, projects, and we got to drive there. Like I told Victor, we got to record some of this, and we'll get canceled right away.
Yeah. You guys drove to Michigan or something, right?
Michigan, for a project.
Detroit, wasn't it?
Detroit.
Yeah, we drove to Detroit and back, and we drove to Chicago and back, and then we went to Spooner, Wisconsin and back. That was earlier in the year.
That was an interesting drive into Michigan, Wisconsin, Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up pulling over on the side of the road because there was a car burning.
Yeah.
And we're like, what is going on? So we pulled over. People were fine.
I have a picture of that.
Yeah. Right? Like you were just like,
Kiko, can you pull out? Do you have any of those images on there? I don't think I added.
They were adding more fuel to it just so it looked better for the camera.
Well, we pulled over and there was a car on fire. We were just making sure that people were okay. They were firemen come in, did their job.
Well, and the crazy thing is, we talked to, I don't know, the fire marshal, whoever he was, and he's like, this is like the 4th fire tonight, and it was like 9 o'clock.
Like car fires?
Yeah, on
car
highways.
Fires?
So they patrol the highways apparently, and I don't know, maybe it's the area, but they're patrolling highways for car fires, and that was like, I think number 4 of the night or something like that. Wasn't that, Kiko? Is that right?
Yeah, the guy pulled up. He's like, "Yeah, I just started my shift, and this is like the 3rd or 4th of the night." I don't know. We're like, "What? Dang. Car fire?" Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so did you guys, Joe? I know you had a busy summer, but what was your takeaway? Did you have any goals set up for this year?
I don't know if I had a yearly goal. I guess I have some lofty, longer term goals.
Yeah.
That I don't know if I necessarily need to share here.
Yeah.
They involve, just
running an empire.
Empire. No. So I've had a very busy 4 years, I'd say, since we started the studio out here in Rockford.
Yeah.
And I think that my work-life balance had become a little out of kilter. How much time I put in here and still, work in the freelance world and all that. So this year we had the opportunity to take a vacation to Europe, where my sister-in-law lives, in England. So we took a decent amount of time to go over there with the family. And
that's cool.
That's not necessarily something that makes a lot of fiscal sense, especially in the freelance filmmaking world, because that's like that's harvest season.
Busy time
kind
of
of
year.
the middle of summer when you're most of the projects are coming in. So, but it was just a great experience, being able to just kind of spend time with my family, take a relaxing few weeks out there.
Yeah.
See some extended family.
And I think it's good to like rebalance too, because you can get so tied down in one area, and there's some images.
That idea of just picking your head up and assessing where you're at.
Yeah.
So you're just getting out of the grind to be able to kind of refocus.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was away long enough that it helped me to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Now, where'd you go?
So we were mainly in England, London, Wiltshire, Bath.
Bath.
Went over to
dressed to the nines, of course.
Oh, here's some pictures. driving a big old VW bus to haul my family and in-laws. We rented this big old. It's not a bus. It's like a big van, I guess. But went to Wales. Got to go to Bruges in Belgium. That's in Bruges with just my wife. Left the kids with the in-laws. Took the train under the channel and over into Belgium through France. So that was definitely a highlight for a few days. But yeah, just completely. I mean, I wasn't off the grid, but I I don't think I posted anything while I was there.
Yeah.
I sent a couple photos to some friends.
Oh, look
It
at
was
that guy.
Belgian waffles. That was a dream fulfilled right there.
And
Childhood
so
dream.
the city of Bath, that was I think we were on the phone when you were in Bath, right? You took like 1 or 2 phone calls. We were in the middle of a project at that point, or like starting heavy in pre-pro, so we had to talk a little bit. But Bath is where the Romans would actually go to like vacation, basically, right?
Well, so it was
The wealthy?
Not, blah, 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 blah. So the Romans had like a bath that they built there on like some hot springs, essentially.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm getting all my history right here. But so in Bath, and obviously the city's called Bath because of the Roman baths there from like
Yeah.
ancient times, or biblical times, essentially. But over time, it became known for like its mineral, hot spring mineral kind of healthy idea. And there was this idea that you would go to take the waters, in Bath. So it became for the English fashionable vacation town. Wealthy people.
Okay.
Because it's not, I forget, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from London. So like
Okay.
city people would go out there and maybe have a second home or something.
Oh, I thought
Very-
you told me
very
the
cool.
Romans would go out there and
The
like,
Romans built
wealthy-
it initially, and there's still remnants of like one of their baths there.
Yeah.
But no, it was. I suppose that it was probably somewhat. I don't know if it was vacation, but some sort of leisure.
Yeah.
with
Okay.
with baths
Oh,
like
that was
Yeah.
cool. I don't know. That's where we get the word bath for baths is from that town. Is that what you're telling me, or did you completely make that up and then make
I don't know
me
if I
look like
said
a
that or
fool on a
not.
podcast?
Look it up. If only there was this infinite database of knowledge we could
Yeah.
Google.
Look it up, JMO.
But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah, no, but that is important. I know that was a big decision for you to do that in the middle of but it was kind of the only time really to do it, and it's been a while since you've taken it. And I know you're definitely a family man. That's a big priority for you, which is
yeah.
very cool. Very cool. I know a lot of people respect you for that because you
can do both.
yeah, and money, you can always make money. Can't ever buy back the time.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's deep. Kiko, any takeaways from the summer, my man?
Summer, yeah. This I would say was the busiest summer for me. For the last couple months, I've been going. So one thing I did learn was time management and scheduling, because in this industry, you don't want to double book something and then commit to something and then not show up.
Yeah.
So time management and also budgeting. You have 2 really good months, so then you're like, oh wow, I have all
I'm
this.
so filthy rich.
Yeah. So then you got to sit back and like, nope, winter's coming.
Yeah.
Winter's coming.
Winter's coming.
Yeah.
So you got to budget. But yeah, time management was the biggest one. One thing I started doing as well is scheduling time with the family in my schedule. So I don't make time. I don't find time. I make time for the family as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it goes in the schedule as not that it's a job. I love my family. I love spending time with them, but I put it in the schedule as family time, and I respect it too, unless something is super important and something that has to be done right away. But yeah, time
Yeah.
management was the biggest thing.
The thing that's really sucks is when you get booked like on a day project, and then you have somebody else reach out, hey, we want you for 3 or 4 days, and you go, oh no.
Yeah.
That happened to me, I think, like twice this summer, which was, what do you do?
Well, let me tell you what you should do. You should.
Yeah? I actually don't know what
I mean, obviously, you've made a commitment to the first person, but I feel like most people who work with freelancers regularly understand that situation. So I wouldn't drop the job by any means that you've already committed to. But
Just replace.
I would help do my best to help find someone to replace myself if I feel like that's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
What if you don't know anyone in that specific role, or if they can do like 2-3 different aspects of a shoot?
then you need to start getting to know more people or train more people. But
Yeah.
it's a tough situation, and it's difficult because you don't want to make someone feel like they're a second priority.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's logical enough to be like, hey, I'm giving up 3-4 days worth of income to work on this one piddly project with you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't say it that way, but I think people get that, and just, I mean, if you just been like, hey, I'm going to drop the job and take this other 3-day gig, that would be a terrible way to be a freelancer, because then people feel like they can't depend on you.
Yeah.
But you just put some effort into trying to replace yourself.
And that goes a long way. I know I had to do it twice this year to find somebody else to take a job that I couldn't take. And they called me back and they were like, yeah, we want to work with you because, you know, you're just helpful, and they appreciate that. But yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys want to dive into some projects we're a part of?
Let's do it.
Do you want to do individuals first?
I don't know if I put anything on there.
Is everything
individually.
all okay?
Maybe some studio stuff. We had some interesting projects for the studio come through.
Kiko, what were you on? Because you, I think you and I do more stuff probably apart from all three of us.
Yeah, one of the, I think, coolest projects that we were on, and I think all three of us were involved at some point, was for Liquid Death, a commercial for Liquid Death. They were giving away, they're giving away a jet. I don't know if they did that already.
I assume so. It ran over this. It was a summer competition.
Yeah,
so.
But that was a cool project. That was super interesting. Great crew. Everybody was awesome. I love the end product. Another thing that I learned in this industry is I don't see a lot of the end product. I work on projects and I walk away.
Well, you know what's cool about that project? So that was filmed here in Rockford.
Yeah.
They flew a jet and
a
a helicopter at the same time. And there's all the main guys.
These are all
locals.
Rockford area local crew, which
shout out AJ,
Tom.
shout out Tom, shout out Nate,
OG,
and you two. But that was cool. So Kiko, funny thing is, I actually saw. You're right. Usually you don't see the end video, the end piece. But then I was at a gas pump somewhere. I think it was locally. And there it was, the ad that you guys had filmed, which was kind of crazy. I was like, oh, this is. I guess that's a good way to see it.
It's kind of funny. I mean, family, I feel like, doesn't get it, or people like outside of the industry. They're like, "What? You don't even know what you're."
Yeah.
Half the time, I don't even know exactly what we're shooting. We're just there.
That might be a you issue.
I get the general idea, but like, where is it going to air? Like, what's the perp? I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not following the story arc. I'm making it look pretty.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And so they were also out for.
But can you? Do we have I think I threw a photo in there of the.
There's a video.
The helicopter with a shot over on it, which is pretty cool. So if you don't know what a shot over is, there it is. Yep.
Yeah, that was.
It was there. No, the helicopter. Yeah. So
there we go.
So a shot over is like it's a very expensive, fancy. Can you zoom in on that or not?
You should be able to.
There we go. Yeah, look at that. It's a super high end gimbal. This is a gimbal tech out of Chicago. It's a good dude. Forget his name. Sorry about that, bro. So this is meant to take the wind speeds and stuff for being mounted exterior on a helicopter or race car, or something where you want like a quality camera. So he's got, I think it was an Arri Mini they had in there. Pretty sure.
So is that a gimbal? I mean, it looks like a gimbal.
Yeah,
is it a gimbal?
It's a super big gimbal, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the Arri you can see sitting on the ground there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that helicopter was the chase helicopter that was they sent up after the jet to get some aerial footage.
Yeah.
And then they ended up actually flying so we shot it at the airport in Rockford on the tarmac and stuff there. But they actually flew over to Chicago for some of the aerial stuff and came back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so chase.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, but that probably took only 20 minutes.
Not long.
Yeah, that was cool. I was not on that project. I think I was out of town. Nor was I apparently skilled enough or qualified to.
He just didn't get the call.
No, I didn't get the call on that one.
No, but subsequently they came back.
Yeah. So Kiko, can you pull up? They had a really cool. It was just like a one night. So we had a YouTuber.
One night only.
YouTuber named Airrack. Is that correct? Kiko?
think so. My
Eric,
kids, my
yeah.
kids, my
Really
kids
cool
know.
guy. That's him right there. So they were just doing a social media campaign
They do the job.
with him. Yeah, can you zoom in on that, Kiko? So Eric is he's a YouTuber, but he started out in wedding films. So I was hired on as just like a project manager, talent
management.
coordinator. Yeah. And so I picked him up from Chicago and his team. There's his guys there, really, really cool guys. And then, so yeah, can you zoom in on that one, Kiko? There's the VP, Greg of Liquid Death, VP of marketing rather. And so it was really cool to get that time. There's something about windshield time with people that you're all looking one direction. I feel like you get to have some better conversations. But really cool guys. They came out, just did some social media stuff. They flew in the jet, and their goal was to not pass out or puke. So it was just like a challenge who passes out first.
Did anyone pass out?
Yeah, one guy did. One of them thought, and I think Eric, the main guy there, the YouTuber, he didn't think he did, but they looked over the footage later, and yeah, he blacked out because they're like doing 6 Gs, I think, in that thing.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, man,
I think
that
we threw a little
sound.
video in there with just kind of some BTS of the day.
Yeah, there is a video in there,
It's,
Kiko.
it's vertical, unfortunately, but
That was cool. It gives a good summary of it. But yeah, that was a really cool project. But then, just I was obviously on email threads and phone conversations with these people. I'm like, this is cool. This is a national
so the
brand.
YouTuber social thing was like subsequently they came back maybe a month later or something.
Yeah.
and kind of because the jet was housed here in Rockford.
Here, yes, yeah.
It's like
Did you see it, Kiko? I think it's at the top.
Top. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was cool because you get in Liquid Death, like, kudos to them because they originally took an old ad that was it Coca-Cola that did a giveaway of a jet, and they never actually gave it away. Pepsi. Okay.
Yeah, and then there was like documentary or something shot about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Recently, so that's what the impetus for.
But that's genius. Like Liquid Death has been doing that, and love to see some like organic ideas, and that's a bit of a risk to do that, and it's a lot of money, but they went for it. And did you find it, Kiko?
Still looking for it.
We'll cut this section out. Can you just scroll up to the top for a second? I would recognize the thumbnail. It's that second picture, I think.
This one?
No,
No, it's a picture.
just start thumbing through them. It should pop up. I think you could sort by video or something.
Oh, I gotta delete those out of there.
Was it one of the
That's a photo.
no previous? No. No.
that's-
What the heck? I
that's
just watched
Yeah,
it.
it was definitely in there. There it is.
There it is.
Oh, that's a video?
Yep.
Oh, copy.
Okay.
Copy.
A jam. Patrick Dodal, First AC from Chicago. Shout out. They're shooting in the Burano, which is interesting. Tomo. Yeah.
Yeah. It was windy that day.
That's a good picture.
And some frames
Yeah,
from the
and
final
the
ad.
ad looked really great. This
you
is
go.
a national campaign, and it was filmed here in Rockford, and had enough crew and,
Obviously,
and support.
Rockford's kind of the center of the creative universe. So
No, but I mean, it proves the point. That's why you built a studio out here.
another big project that I was very happy to host out here. I was not none of us were on the project, but it was hosted here at the studio early summer, maybe late spring, definitely after the podcast. But we had Riddell that makes the NFL helmets and there we go. They make the NFL helmets and jerseys and things like that. I guess they're in the suburbs, but yeah, look at all that the merchandise laid out, the product laid out. But they booked both of our studios for I don't know, several days. And
it was like 5-6 days.
I think it was like basically the whole work week. But they shot between here and Madison, I think, on a football field up there at the UW. But all stills. Pretty much all. Maybe they've shot a couple social things, but it's pretty much all stills for their yearly catalog. Which was pretty cool to see. Like that breezy fixture there. That was a new one for me. I hadn't seen before. Awesome. Probably the most expensive photographic light you can buy, but super well designed. A German focusable parabolic sort of thing, but pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was pretty cool. The guy was from L.A., the photographer, and the agency was from the East Coast somewhere, I believe. But
are we allowed to say their names?
Michael Cacciadorian. Yeah, for sure.
Cacciadorian,
I believe.
Cacciadorian. Yeah. Well, what's funny is
Michael is a super cool dude.
It's really cool.
If their schedule wasn't so hectic, he totally would have come on the podcast. We tried, but we just couldn't.
It was like 5-6 o'clock, and they were ready to go to a different location. We're like, hey, you want to come back later? We can do a pod. But he was like, should we do a pod? His kind of assistant guy, right hand man. He's like, yeah, I think it'd be great. Let's do it. And never end up happening. So hopefully next year, if they're back, we can do it. That would have been a fun conversation. But
I did end up seeing some of the final products out there in the wild, and just look great.
Yeah. That's very
Michael
that was cool.
Knows what he's doing. It was interesting to me too, just because I had never been around a project that big, that was just stills. That was kind of it really felt like a film production, but they were shooting stills. I'm like, that's just really cool to see people operating at that level in their skill set of what they do.
Yeah. And so they booked out the main stage and then also the photo studio. So what is that, like 8,000 square feet that they were probably, maybe 6?
Probably about 7. Yeah.
7? Okay.
I mean, basically half the building.
Yeah. And they filled it up, man. There was a lot of gear, a lot of people,
like
talent.
A 26-foot U-Haul parked in the dock, plus other truck for transport.
And the way they worked, man, when they cleaned up, I thought there's no way they're going to get all that stuff out in one day. They got it done by like 1 o'clock.
Well-oiled machine.
Yeah, very well. What are some other projects that we were all on together? I know we had Insurance King.
Yeah, that was
really cool. That was very cool. Kiko, can you pull up some of those?
I think we maybe hinted at that project. We hinted around that project in one of our previous or a couple of our previous podcasts.
Yeah.
But.
So Insurance King is owned by our good friend Dan
Block.
Dan Block. He's been working with Josiah for a number of years, and Josiah.
That's not Insurance King.
No, that is Insurance King is.
Did we put anything in there from that?
Yeah, it should be. Is it not in there, Kiko?
Shop.
There we go. The purple, Kiko. The purple and the white above. So for Insurance King, Dan is connected. So we had this coffee shop idea. He kind of started off with a loose concept, and then it's our job to kind of come in and spice it up, see, what angles we can take it. So actually, before you play that, Kiko, let me just describe it a little bit. We had Stacey Dash. What TV show was she on? Clueless.
Clueless. She
is
was
probably
most
what she's
for.
Yeah, and then obviously Todd Bridges you'd worked with before. So we had those two.
Who is Willis of the What You Talking About?
What
Willis?
You Talking About, Willis?
For the young folk out there.
I actually have never seen it. I just have heard my mom quote it relentlessly.
Different strokes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd be a fan of that show.
Yeah,
because he could really connects with Gary Coleman.
Just because it's a good show.
You guys, you're gonna throw.
We're the worst.
Now I'm thinking of comebacks, and now you made me lose track of where we're going with this podcast.
So yeah, we were initially we were considering shooting this in an actual coffee shop. We went pretty far down the road.
Yeah.
of making that happen. Talked to Rockford Roasting. They were
And
going to work with us.
At this point, I don't think Stacy Dash was confirmed, right?
I don't know.
Because one
I
of
don't
our big thoughts is like the client experience. Do you want
Yeah.
them, do you want them in a studio setting, or do you want them in just like a coffee shop in a back room getting dressed, hair and makeup done?
And there's things we could have done, like we could have rented a hotel room or things like
Yeah.
that. But adding all that cost up, plus the particular location we wanted to shoot, which looked really cool, would have been logistically challenging to get gear in and out of. And just
It
the
was like
location.
it was not on a second level, but you had to like go
Yeah, we would have
upstairs
had to
and
like
or go
haul
around.
carts through the hotel lobby and stuff. And
It's just
would have been-
logistically tough, especially with the budget and the time we had, because we had what, 1 day of prep for this. Kiko, can you go back to some of
Maybe a day and a half, I don't
just the flats by themselves before?
Yeah. And the other factor that really kind of ended up being the clincher for us was
No, that was it. Go back, Kiko.
just the first one where it's
Yeah, right there.
The other factor is we were doing like 3 different time periods.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to,
That's
so
right.
in addition
right.
to like bringing all our gear into that location, we would have had to, the set dressers, production designers would have had to bring all their stuff in to kind of make this coffee shop look like 3 different time periods. And I think it was the combination of those factors where like, actually, it makes sense to shoot it at the studio, put the time into it, and actually build a set for it instead.
Josiah, you were gaffer on this, executive producer. It's you've been working with Dan for a while, so you just oversee the project, and then you put me on as I was an AD and then a producer on this as well. Kiko, did you grip on this, or did
No,
you
I
did sound?
was running sound. Yeah.
Yeah, you did sound. But I mean, it was cool. You have celebrities that are actually pretty well known. Like I mentioned Stacy's name to a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, I know exactly who that is." And then so you have them come here to Rockford, and we put on a production. Man, Dan had some of his people from other what would you call them? Other companies, or some of the people he's connected
Insurance
to.
reps or something? He did have Stacy's agent out.
And
from
Stacy's
LA.
agent was here, yeah. So we provided them, I think, she was really happy. We provided them such a cool experience. And it was really awesome to
We
see
turned the not green room,
photo studio.
the photo studio into like a green room for her.
Yeah, which
The-
is
the
it's already
morning
laid
of.
out like that. yeah, right. But it was a super challenging project. Now that I'm like recollecting about it, it was really challenging, just because we were doing a lot. This was
Or recollecting, as some people would say.
What did I say?
Recollecting,
Recollecting.
repossessing.
But it was a lot of work. But this is kind of what we do recently. I think is just we bite off more than we can chew, but we deliver. We're always.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it seems to have been a theme.
I think we're always pushing for the best, and
I mean, you always want to do the best for your client.
absolutely.
Because we take pride in what
Yeah.
we do. Like, it's not just checking boxes. We're trying to create a piece of art, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm super proud of everyone who was on this project. We did a lot, so I think we built
Nate Kaiser, Julia Moore,
Yep.
and Chris Preet. We
Chris
really gotta
Preet,
shout
yeah,
out to.
and then we had Jim McKenzie, my MMA coach. We've had him on in here. He's also in production. He was an AC. Who else did we have? It seemed there was a lot of people on set.
But the set build and the production design and dressing. And
Did we have 1 or 2 days of prep?
I feel like it was maybe 2 or a day and a half or something like that.
Yeah, but so anyway, we Kiko, can you do that time
Kiko's
lapse?
got that video queued up, ready to go. Let's see it.
This is the time lapse from studio camera, right? Oh no, we set up a
I
time
think
lapse.
we set up
Yeah,
an iPhone or something.
I set up a time lapse.
Yeah.
yeah, I love this.
So there it is. This is, I think, the whole day.
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah. So there's different look.
90s, now
There's
we're into the
Todd's
80s.
looks, and then
Done. That's how fast it went.
Wow.
yeah.
Just a blink of an eye.
But we had a Chapman out there. We had
Chapman
Tom.
Dolly.
Tom as well. He
Yep.
came out. That was really cool. We had there's Colin, our DP. That was a really fun shoot. So that was he also edited. Colin edited as well. There's Kiko,
There's
sound,
that
and Stacy.
boom operator.
Yeah. That was a jam-packed day, and it was kind of a nightmare to schedule.
Shout out Chris.
Yeah, there's
more
Can you
BTS
play
here.
that?
Play.
Camera speed.
Mark it.
Scene 6 beta, take 2.
There's Stacy.
Action.
Everything was cheaper in the 90s.
And I'm forgetting our additional talent. My goodness, what's her name?
She was great too.
Why am I blanking?
I love the 90s.
From suburbs area.
Yeah, actually, Stacy on the next one.
Yeah.
Is that the same cup you're drinking out of, Josiah?
It is.
Did I just?
It's become
Is that a famous cup
I
now?
guess it is now. Look at that.
Oh man, we gotta auction that now.
Yeah. But that was, that
So
was.
Stacy's lips have been on this. Actually, we have like 4 of these, so I don't know. Should have had her sign it.
It sounded bad.
Actually, I switched to my my glass of water here. This is pretty cool. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Should I show it to? We don't. Why it's really not showing up too well on camera.
Mm-mm.
But it has
There you
the
go.
City Stage logo on it.
Yeah, put your hand behind it. It that
Oh,
work.
there you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, look at that. Compliments of Vintage Roots made
Yeah.
these for us.
Yeah, shout out Chuck.
Shout out Chuck Meyer.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. But yeah, that was a long. It felt like a week, and there's a lot of different issues we ran into. But I'm super proud. Everyone problem solved. Everyone worked hard. Just a really, really good highlight from the summer, spring.
Here's another clip.
That Chapman was awesome. That was kind of one of our last calls that we did. I think the day before on prep day, I was like, let's just get it. Let's make room for in the budget.
All right,
Yeah.
you're settle everyone for a good reason.
And down. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll wait for that.
And people, you think of like a dolly for the motion, dolly shots and such, but just working off a Chapman or a Fisher like that,
Saw speed.
it works as
Camera speed.
just a faster tripod. You
Yeah.
don't have to like go up and down and adjust the legs and lock them individually and all that. You can just they boom up and down hydraulically. It really speeds up the day. Roll it around.
Yeah.
We did have a couple tracking shots.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
that was we had a push in the beginning and a push out at the end, so we definitely use it for motion. But yeah, it was super efficient, very efficient. Do you guys want to talk about Parkview too? Because that was another
Sure.
project we just did all together, and our. He's going to be my
Kevin?
goodness,
Kevin West?
Yeah, I was going to say Mark. Kevin. Kevin is
don't-
actually going to be on the podcast soon.
I
But
don't remember much of that shoot.
Yeah.
I was napping most of
Basically
the
just
time.
slept the whole time.
I kept looking for Kiko,
That was so comfy too.
but Josiah, do you want to cue this one up because you've been working
Sure.
with Parkview for a while, and Kevin.
Yeah, so this has honestly become one of my favorite projects of the year.
Yeah,
With Kevin West, works at a church down in Orland Park, Parkview Christian. They really do a great job with their creative, and Kevin's the head of the department. And I just know whenever we're showing up on one of these projects with them, I've probably been working with them 4 years, maybe something like that now. Christmas projects, some of their bigger, maybe Easter or some projects like that. But the creative is always just really good, like the concept, the story. And
yeah,
the production design is great,
Yeah.
great too.
yeah,
Leaning in on a lot of great volunteer help, from the church. I just know we're going to go into a scene that just looks great from a set deck perspective, and that can make such a huge difference. But these Christmas projects in particular, I love Christmas. My siblings call me Father Christmas, so
Papi Christmas.
Papi.
I call you
Papi
Father
Navidad.
Papi Navidad.
He's already got the Christmas tree set up, by the way, Kiko.
I
Did you
did.
see it
I
in
saw
the
that
main
right
area?
next to my
Okay,
desk.
so
I
It's
love
not
it.
even Thanksgiving and we have a Christmas tree up.
So
You're a lunatic.
we took my family Christmas photo in the photo studio over the weekend
Oh, did you?
because last year we didn't get out to the week before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
We got it done. We're going to get it printed in plenty of time. Don't have to pay for rush shipping and all that. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not going to put this tree back. I'm going to go, just
Yeah,
put it up
it
front.
looks good.
I haven't decorated it yet. The tree's just up.
I'm
But
here for
anyway,
the
so
vibe.
Parkview, this project was,
Josiah, what you got cooking?
okay, here we go. Talking. Hopefully some food because I am hungry. Just put up a little moon box on the scissor lift.
That was awesome.
The first guy to crafty, Josiah is.
Brennan was able to
100%.
get one for free. I basically live at the craft services table.
man.
And you brought the moon, so.
We brought
Brennan,
the moon.
great dude.
Yeah, really good dude.
The convenient thing is we had hard surface close to the set, so scissor lift works pretty well in this scenario.
And this is a great example of
Can't get
just
close to set, you need a boom.
economizing the
Worked well
budget
for us.
too.
Mm-hmm.
The road, it's nice road right along the side. of the set.
So while a Condor would be the ideal choice,
Light Panels Gemini.
Shout out live panel.
You sell out.
like a Condor or the articulating arm sort of
Yeah,
sort
bring
of
that
lift
up, Kiko.
would be more ideal
They
to
look-
use.
Yeah.
We made this work because they had this at the church, and all they had to do was transport it.
Mm-hmm.
And just the way we laid out the shots, and the fact that we had this drive, because this is an indoor lift, it's not like outdoor wheels on the thing. We were able to position it in a good spot and just go straight up in the air with it, and get a pretty cost-effective way of having a moon box, which is otherwise a pretty expensive operation
Mhm.
to pull together. So,
Yeah.
The building part was my favorite. I really enjoy building those.
do you have that little time lapse you did of the?
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah. So there's no one way to build a moon box. You just kind of have to make it up, and this is our solution.
That's how fast we worked.
Yeah,
too.
we're super fast. As you can see, it was a super windy day by how fast those clouds are moving by. But yeah, just built with speed rail. We kind of had a basic idea in mind of how we wanted to. Oop,
Oh,
end it early. That's disappointing. Didn't even get-
then that was a preview. I think
That
I'll
was a
find
preview.
the actual one.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Moonbox, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
So Kevin West has recently said he's going to come on the podcast, which I'm
Yes,
excited
possibly
to
this
talk
week.
about him. Just super creative guy, lots of creative ideas.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we all three got to work on that one together.
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
great.
That was very fun. Yeah, that was. I'd worked with Kevin a couple times before, but and their guys was it like 2 years ago or something like that, 3 years ago maybe. So it was really fun project, and I agree. I wanted to pick his brain on just I think he's a good director. I think he's got some really creative ideas, and I don't know that we've had really a director on. I'm trying to think. All of us direct
Chris.
to some. Oh yeah, that's right. All of us direct to some extent, but
I
that'll
don't.
be a fun conversation. Yeah, you
Not
don't.
me.
But yeah, that was another fun project. Kiko, are there any more photos from that? There's another video of one of the setups that we did towards the end there.
Here's the.
Oh, this is the
time
full
lapse, I
build?
think. Queuing up. There it is. Yeah.
That's
And-
another thing that I learned over summer. I really like rigging. I like
Rigging
just
is so much
figuring
fun.
Figuring out how to do it with the sometimes limited tools that you have in your hands. Like I love that stuff.
So typically this would be a grips job, but we're swings here in the Midwest. We build it and strike the lights.
And what kind of diffusion did you have on that? Because that was something that I was not expecting.
Yeah. So again, this was kind of a bit of a cost saving measure, but I just bought like like painter's plastic from Home Depot of a kind of about the diffusion level that I wanted, and that enabled us to just kind of clip it on there, stretch it around in the specific shape that we built that box for, cut holes in it without having issues, which we did end up doing.
Oh,
hanging
did
light
you?
on it and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So it just gave us a little more flexibility than putting a rag on there, because obviously you don't want to cut that up.
Why
And,
did you have to cut it?
we ended up having to hang a light off of the rig.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And also adding
putting
those,
power through or something like that.
adding the clamps for the rails and stuff like that. So it was cost effective,
Yeah.
and it worked
Okay,
great.
okay. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting choice. So I was curious what your decision
And I've
behind
done
that
it
was.
with rags before too, but that's just kind of direction we decided to go this year.
Yeah. This
It,
is
it looked great.
this
Like,
is one of the setups outside. It was one setup, but
Can
we
you zoom
did
in on
like
the video or
3
not?
different.
Oh, look at that! I hate that this is all vertical.
Yeah, this turned
stuff,
out
but
really beautiful, man. I'm
haze really makes a big difference. Well, outside would be fog, but having fog in there really helps to set the tone.
and it
exteriors.
was tricky positioning that moon for sure. Because see, if you look at the dad's face there. That's what we were looking for, and before it was just a little too fronty. So it was really tricky trying to position that all within the barriers of the driveway where that thing could drive on, because you'd want it directly behind them, overhead.
We didn't have
ideally,
any
but
booming capability.
yeah, that was not an option we had. But look at that. There's another. So there's a music video portion, and yeah, Kevin has just got these really cool setups in his mind. So it's fun to go and execute those. Christmas in the middle of was it October?
I think so.
Was it? Yeah. That was fun couple nights. And then we did our last big project. Kiko, you were on for I think 1 day or 2 days. Were you on for the prep too? But we also had big project Apex that Josiah, you were kind of executive producer, gaffer again on that. Yeah, that was another really challenging one to like schedule and coordinate.
This was through Ryan Rydell's agency,
Yes.
Rycom, in the pink there.
And Ryan just let us, we had a loose concept in the beginning from one meeting, and he just let us fly with it, and so we built a big living room set, because I do not like small sets. I think you can definitely tell when they're small. So
Yeah, it was pretty good size.
So Chris did the production design for this, Chris Preet, good friend of ours, and that was in the beginning. I was like, we need to have this. We need this to feel like a bigger room. So actually, can you go back to that one, Kiko? The idea was that we had the camera rise the whole time while the family's having a casual, like Friday night. We had a dog in there, which was challenging. We had a little girl who was a local little actress, and my goodness, is she...
We really set ourselves up for success. We had animals, we had children, and we had a boatload of practical effects.
Yeah, that's what happens when you let me direct. And so Josiah's, one of the concepts we had, the lighting was going to change. So it's just going to be a bright sunny day like you saw in that first image, and then all of a sudden lights flicker, and we change from daytime to nighttime, and not only nighttime, but also rainy storm. So Joe, do you want to talk about a little bit of behind that?
It was very ambitious for what we had to work with.
Yeah,
but, again, that hearkening back to that idea of just wanting to put it all out there and make it happen for the client.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's our own fault, but
it is our own fault. But it's tough when you're in the middle of it, and it's really tough when also so much money went to like 1 day of production. But that day was very important. You know?
From a client experience standpoint,
yeah,
they were absolutely.
The team at
thrilled.
Apex was out here, and it was fun to see. So fun to see their reaction, and just to see where their money's going to. But we transition outside of that house so you had to time all the lighting cues as the camera is rising on a crane or on a jib. We go through the ceiling as lightning strikes, as water. Chris had built this water
rain machine deal outside the window.
Yeah, so the water would kick in, simulating rain, backlit by lightning, lights flickering overhead, and you had all these on.
It was all DMX'd.
DMX,
so we could fade between two scenes. We had to do some stuff manually too, like some lights flickering, and Nate Kaiser was on that helping with.
And all 2 days of prep or 1 day?
It was, and the wind. So it was. I think we had rain, wind, DMX cues, and some manual. So we had we had 4 people in addition to the crane operator to execute this practical shot. Yeah. So 5 people working together.
Yeah, and shout out to the PAs that helped us out immensely. That was from
Rock Valley College.
Valley College, yeah. Thank you once again. That came in really clutch because I think we definitely were a little under manpowered. Yeah. But as the camera rose outside, Kiko, can you cue this one up? As the camera rises through the ceiling, then we go outside to the actual roof.
Lightning. Perfect.
So this will be cut in with the interior footage we saw before.
Yeah. And just so much, man, so much went into that. By that point, it was even a smaller crew. And the PAs from Rock Valley really helped us out a lot on that one. But yeah, all done.
That looked great. I was not here for that, but that looked super awesome.
Yeah.
You were out on a FDC shoot or
So-
something.
FDC shoot, yeah.
FDC.
So Josiah, you built a pool. You built a liner basically to pool the water
Mhm.
underneath
Yeah.
that whole setup.
Yeah,
in order to
all we
contain
did
it.
was put a 2x4 frame. We just did like a square frame of 2x4s,
Mm-hmm.
and then essentially put a tarp over it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that
That
worked.
was a really fun one.
It was actually a Griffon rag because I didn't have time to go out and buy a tarp. But nobody really uses Griff anymore, so
What
we
Griff-
destroyed it. Griffon.
What's the
It's a black and white. It's largely been replaced by Ultra Bounce, but it's a bounce or a fill. We did end up ripping it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh well.
You and I together. But yeah, that was a super cool project. Kiko, can you go to some of the truck stuff? So we also had a day where we, filmed with the. Oh, that was a cool setup. Go back to that. That one. That was a really cool setup, and that we just did a video on the little light that's there to the left.
Same day.
This was the next day.
Was it the next day?
Yeah, so we had to tear apart
Oh,
all
that's right,
that.
it was a 2-day.
We got the studio, the home portion done in the same day that we did the roof, the rain on the roof.
And some location. They went
And
out,
location.
Had a company move in
So-
the middle of the day.
The budget was tighter so we had to schedule.
I really doubted Victor's ability to make this all happen, but
We were late on our location stuff because someone came here that was supposed to have a yard sign. So it ended up that we were just running behind schedule, and then I think we had
it's
some
amazing
issues out.
how the smallest piece of logistics
Yeah.
can really throw off your
Yeah.
project.
Yeah, it is. And even while being behind, I think we did wrap late on that last
But
roof.
maybe a half hour. Like,
Yeah.
it was not bad.
Whoever's you got ADing your stuff,
Yeah,
Josiah. My
just
goodness,
top tier.
what a killer
Creme de
that
la
guy is. Yeah, but Kiko, can you go to some of the truck stuff? There's one.
So
yeah,
it was a 2-day. Yeah. And then we tore that set down the afternoon of the
Mm-hmm.
morning that we shot it and transitioned to this for the next day.
Yeah, and our we had basically, I broke this down into like 3 or 4 different setups. I think it was 3 different setups, and we just played around in the studio.
there's
Luis
Luis.
was
Shout out Luis.
Yeah, Luis was there operating in DP. He basically, I just let him. I set up scenarios for him because I was directing, and I'm thinking, how do we make this most efficient, get the most amount of shots while making the Apex team look really cool? Because this is kind of a higher concept. Them prepping while the storm is coming in order to go out and rebuild roofs. So it was. I think we did a really cool job, and I'm excited to see how that project's going to turn out. I think it's going to be awesome. But
Light for the wide and
yeah,
let it move around.
That's what we did. Yeah, we lit for the wide and just had 3-4 different cool setups. And Luis was I love that handheld look that we leaned into. I think that's going to turn out really well. Anything else that we worked on together, boys? Kiko, any highlights for you? That's pretty much it for me. I mean, I did Boston.
Well, I mean, some Blue Cross stuff,
Blue
obviously.
Cross stuff.
yeah, let's do that.
Like that flower shop set we did at one point was pretty cool. That was the one you initially, yeah.
This has been the year
Yeah.
of sets, man.
Yeah.
We built so many
This is
sets.
the one where my wife made her debut
Yes.
as a
Talent,
background
yeah.
talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice, simple set that came together well and just looked good.
And Chris is directing this one. Chris is so talented with set design,
Yeah.
production design.
Joe.
I mean, just the right color on the walls. Just
Yeah.
it really felt like you were in this flower shop.
Yeah.
And
Do we have
combine that with a practical location for the exterior, and
I think we have one more of him, or of their project. Yeah, that's the set as a whole. That was
It looked
really
really
cool.
nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're building these really quickly. That's the thing. Like one day.
well, that's the beauty
Yeah, we're
of
getting good at it.
set flats is you can just screw them together, deal with the seams and dress them.
yeah.
If you got a good set dresser, production designer.
Is there one more from our from our corporate shoot of a company that will remain titleless. That's a Fortune 500, Fortune 100 company. That was another fun.
Yeah, this is another one. Plano, Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah, Plano.
What was the corporate one?
I'm just talking about our nameless client that Chris runs.
Okay.
That shall remain nameless.
Oh, that. Yeah, blue one.
The blue one, yeah.
Ah, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think I already said it. But
Did you really?
I think you did. Yeah.
Do I need to?
we're gonna have to go back and bleep that out.
Yeah, that was also Plano. That was.
No, this is
Oh,
a
no,
different
no,
one.
that is a
this
different
is
one.
a
Okay.
company Josiah and I worked with. Yeah, that was
That's a Plano with
Plano.
a fake pregnant belly.
yeah. And you know the beauty, like we this is a giant house in Plano, and we all stay there for production. Some people are in hotels, but it's so fun when we're all working as a team in the day, and then we go out and do the hang afterwards. To me, it's so much fun. I think
It's like
can
the
you
camp experience?
the camp experience? Yeah, and
Camaraderie.
Kiko, I think at the bottom there's a video of Josiah and I. This was like 9, 10,
Has
10
this
o'clock
gone
at
through
night.
my PR?
No. Oh shoot! Did I not have it in there?
You could airdrop
It's
it
you
to 'em.
doing a 360. Oh, right there, Kiko. The water to the left.
the night
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, right there.
Oh.
So this is the fun stuff that after production.
Go.
Oh, we're gonna have to blur this out. Oh! I didn't see this one. Nice.
Didn't see that
Yeah.
one coming.
Oh, that was Plano. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my party trick.
I'll give you 8 out of 10.
Actually, my
Yeah.
party trick is balancing things on my nose. Did you know that?
Is it
Oh.
really?
Might be time to bust that one out again. I charge for it, so
Whatever it is, go.
It's not a party trick. It's a party service. So
Okay. I think that. I mean, anything else, Kiko, from your summer that you want to?
for my
recap?
summer, yeah, let's go through them. One of my highlights was we went to NAV together, which I loved. I've never been. I knew I had to step it out with Josiah there, so we definitely did. I like dressing nice once in a while, and I know Josiah is always dressing nice, so I was like, no, I'm gonna follow his lead. So there's a little
zoom in on
something.
that bad boy.
Little slow
Look at
mo,
those
of
studs.
course.
That was fun.
It was so much fun. Yeah, I'm glad I made it happen.
That's
Made
that's the cool thing about our circle and the people we work with. It's just we all like to hang out outside of work.
Yeah, we do.
Or at least we
Um,
pretend like we do.
Pretend. For some of us, apparently.
Like I mentioned, I've been doing sound, especially for FDC. Shout out FDC, Rockford Company.
Yeah.
Fire department
Fire
coffee,
Department Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
national brand that is. They roast in Rockford too, right?
yeah, they do
they
roast and
roast
wrap.
and
Yeah,
ship
now
from
they're
here.
in Walmart now, so yeah, they're doing great. So yeah, they brought me in for their social media content, running sound. So that's what I've been doing for them. I work with them for 6 projects already, and yeah, we already have dates for next year, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah. And Kiko, so sound has been something that you started doing beginning of this year, right?
Yeah, beginning. Yeah.
What was the reason for that? Because you'd been gripping before. You were photography. You did weddings. You did some social media. So then adding sound on top of that. What was the reason behind that?
Well, one of the things was I wanted to expand my menu, if you want to call it that way, for set and production work. I didn't want to just grip and work in the lighting department. So I love being on set. So I figured, sound is another position that at least here in Rockford, we don't have a lot of sound guys. I noticed they were bringing in people from out of town. So I was like, wait, I'm going to look into that. So, yeah. I was lucky enough to have you guys help me out in the first project. Because funny story, I was not prepared for the first project. I was like, I got hired and I was like, oh shoot, I don't have any gear. So I stepped in. He let me borrow his mixer, some labs.
Is that
Yeah,
really?
A fire department coffee.
Fire
one?
department coffee. Yeah, Colin
No
came
kidding.
in. He let me borrow some labs, and also Matt Burke. He was like, hey, you want some labs? Here's some labs. So everybody came together, loaded me up with gear, and yeah, made it down there, made it happen. They were happy with me, and that's when I decided, you know what, I'm into this. I'm gonna invest some money into this and go for it. And I did. That's me with my showing off my pole, my boom pole.
Look how long
That,
it is.
yeah, I love it. But yeah, I really do love PG guys.
This is going out to our colleagues, boys.
But I do love it. That was another project when I first started with Seth. Yeah, sound is so much fun, so much pressure, which I like too. So
Yeah, that's cool. And you're right. I think we did need more sound guys. And so there's a cool project
There's
you
a
did with
TV show
Colin.
that came into town too. You ran sound for, right? That I forgot what it was for, but it was. I lit it. It was kind of
TV show.
yeah.
Oh, shoot, I'm
They're
going
from
blank.
they're from like Tennessee or something. Tennessee or it's like a house
Oh
like a-
yeah. The
medical something. Or
medical. Yeah, it was like a interview for yeah. It was a pharmaceutical, right? Was it a TV show?
No, it was like a show, like a documentary kind of show. I think.
Yeah. That was in Belvedere. We shot in Belvedere, I
Yeah.
believe.
Mm.
Yeah, that was cool. This one too. I was involved with Colin on this one. He did a.
Yeah, this was really cool. You hazed like how many thousand square feet?
This warehouse was so huge. Here, I'll give you guys a taste of this. Like we hazed it to the point where you couldn't see across the room. Like watch, just can't get in there. I'm gonna mute it because there's not much sound going on. But yeah, this warehouse was huge. We shot a music video there. It went great. Great space. But yeah, we needed haze, and the hazer that Josiah provided like made it. I mean, we had to shut her off a couple times because it was so hazy. Like,
Radiance can really fill a venue. Radiance Hazer.
Wait, that's your hazer? Ah,
it's coming.
look at
See,
that.
you finally, after
It's
walking and
crazy.
walking, you start seeing
haven't
what's
seen it.
going on behind all that haze. And yeah, it was a really cool setup.
So could you not turn the lights off or like the lights are on in the rest of the building, but off over here?
Yeah, so
Look at
that was
whole
another.
set, like hidden there.
Yeah, that was another challenge because they were not on separate switches, so we had to climb up there and unplug every single light.
Oh, jeez,
That took hours, but we made it happen.
that's intense.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a good project.
We're at
That-
hour 10 now.
Um,
I love churros.
what?
this was just a fun project with
Yeah,
Seth Deming,
he
who
fed
we've
us
also had on
well.
the show.
Yeah, he fed us tacos that day. I remember that.
He did. Those
And
churros
churros.
were
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Zoom in, Kiko.
I probably ate more of those churros. Than
I don't think
What's that-
Victor liked the
that
tacos.
dude in the background?
Look at that. He's just going at it.
Garrett, good dude back there too.
Oh yeah, Garrett
This was
Garrett's
just a passion
wife
project.
was
Yeah, exactly. Which I didn't know when we hired her, which was
Yeah.
hilarious. But yeah, she's
that she
great,
does,
the
and
actress.
she's been doing a lot of actually. it was-
Oh, so on this little project we did, we also we were all three.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it yet. We need to get
No.
That's right,
ask Seth
yeah.
what's going on. But we were all three talent on the project
Yes.
as well.
We play gangsters.
yeah,
High-end gangsters, I would say.
I was in the Russian.
I'm excited
Mob.
to see that
Racial
scene.
mob, yeah.
We got some big necklaces, or some chains that I got from Kiko.
This was my outfit for that scene, so I went out and Kiko took a couple snaps of me.
And I was representing the Mexican mafia, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
That was a long night.
know. Yeah.
So we
went
had a
late.
day of work,
1
and then I
o'clock
think
or
what did we
something.
leave like at 2-3 o'clock, and then we were there until I think I got home at like 3:30 in the morning.
Was it that late?
Yeah, I got home at 3:30.
It's Dan
uh,
Capper's birthday too, I remember.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, for me, the other project that I was in, and I was pretty happy with it, is a short film in St. Charles. Great crew. I was super happy with working with everybody there. I'm excited to see it. It was a 3-day shoot. We shot most of the day. St. Charles, beautiful St. Charles.
And you should get paid for this
Mhm.
one, right?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Not
it was
often that
hard.
happens on short films.
I did sound on this one. That was fun.
Was that that wasn't with Seth, right?
Seth was involved in it. He's the one that brought me into the group. He was
Okay.
cam up and also like gaff and grip, kind of swing. Swing, yeah. Shout out Seth. He's awesome. He's such a cool dude to work
Yeah,
with.
oh, yeah.
It's always a pleasure working
We're
with him
gonna
on
see
set.
Seth later this week.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna see him later this week.
Filmmaker meetup.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What camera is that?
That was RE30, Alexa
yeah.
35, I believe. They had two
boy.
exactly the same setup.
Is that an anamorphic lens on there?
Yeah, anamorphics. Yeah,
Right.
Those cameras were just built beautifully, and they were matching. There was two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Kiko, scroll down to. Can you go to? Oh, go to that one. That's a cool. So talking about rigging, this was Kiko. We were in Detroit in Livonia filming with our friend John. And this was like a last minute thing, and I'm like, "Yo, Kiko,
Look at that
is
rig.
there any way that you could rig Ronin to this thing and do some follow shots?" And we had just one of the employees operate the forklift,
Which
and
he
Kiko
has-
did it.
He almost took out the camera.
Oh yeah. So he all of a sudden he started turning, but he forgot.
Oh.
After he'd been driving for a little
Slammed
bit,
it
he
into a shelf
forgot
or
that he had that on, and that's another 3 feet added on to his back, 2 feet, and almost crushed everything. And a couple of us like yelled out like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And he stopped, but he was like 2 more feet of turn, and he would have crushed everything on that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But that was a great brake job, camera. But on the, I can't talk anymore. Kiko, that was not something we were expecting to do that morning.
Yeah.
And you improvised, obviously, as you can tell by the the support. What do you call those little orange and zoom in on that?
Well, you guys were like on out of town with like a small you didn't have a truck or anything. So
No,
just,
no, this
whatever
is-
happened to be
those
available.
those are awesome too, though.
Yeah,
Great for cables, but you can also use them for like safety.
Oh, yeah.
some-
I've been
some
using
things.
those for years
not
now.
what I recommend, but if you have them available, they work great.
Yeah, that was cool. And Kiko, can you scroll down to some of the ship stuff, the last project? So Igor, who we're going to have in here later this month, we had a chance to go out to Boston together, and we filmed some beautiful stuff out on the coast there.
Look at that ship.
sailboat.
Dang.
And go back. So our talent were just absolute studs. They're a husband and wife team. They worked in the news, I think around in that area. Just a beautiful couple and so nice. This was another time where it felt like, man, we're working, but like we hang out after dinner, and it was just a fun trip.
But we're also sailing in the Hamptons.
Yeah, and
just 'cause
look
that's
at
what we
that.
do.
Like that's a drone shot Igor captured, but it was just absolutely beautiful. Are there any more, Kiko? Yeah, so I was like, this is the thing
Same
with
project.
Yeah, this is the same project. We're inside an Airbnb, and it's like the versatility that I was pulling focus. Igor was directing, DPing, and we would light, and then I would go to pulling focus, and we just knock it out. But that's Livonia. That was another really cool setup. Kiko was there as well at the Detroit Club. But yeah, it was just been a year of versatility. I feel like just doing a lot of different things. Maybe too much. Some would say too much. Maybe I should just hone in on one aspect of the job.
Nonsense.
Sweeping the floors.
Yeah. But anything else, boys?
Excited to get back into this.
Yeah.
It's been too long
Yeah.
of a break.
Why do you think these conversations are important to you, Joe?
I like the just the conversations.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, we always go back to like community, building community, and I think having people in similar situations who can connect with kind of the life that you're living.
Yeah.
But that's what's cool to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting hearing where everybody comes from, and just the struggles of running small businesses and your own companies, and then freelancing on the side. Yeah, we're gonna be doing more of it. We have some cool guests lined up. I'm excited. Some people that we've wanted to have on for a while, and then finally are able to make it work. We're gonna have some actors. We're gonna have some directors. Who else do we have? We have Kevin Honorness on the next episode,
Which we recorded actually months ago, and just
You don't
haven't
need
released.
to. They don't know. They don't know.
They're gonna know because we have new cameras. You probably noticed our side
Yeah.
cameras. We decided to change out. So
Yeah.
Kevin was with the old cameras.
Yeah. That was a cool episode. That was a fun one. I think if you don't know, Kevin is a DP. He's been a Chicago guy for a long time. He started in the news world. That was interesting. I really enjoyed hearing about kind of his experiences in that world, and then transitioning into a company, and then transitioning into freelance. And Kevin is actually going to be at a workshop that we're going to be doing at a meetup this Thursday.
Yeah.
That's going to be very cool. Along with a lot of other people. Do you have quite a bit of people for that?
Seth, who we've already mentioned, is spearheading that. So I don't know what we're up to count-wise, but hopefully it's a good turnout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, just trying to develop some community around that.
Yeah.
We're starting these quarterly filmmaker meetups. I don't know when this one's getting released, but yeah.
Today, hopefully.
Today?
Hopefully.
This Thursday night. the
6
7th.
o'clock, right?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Come here. Talk about short films, hang out with creatives, network. It'll be a cool time. But yeah, we have some really fun conversations coming up. I know that it'll be great to get back in the swing of things and make these podcasts a little bit more regular. I know I get a lot out of them, and hopefully we can provide a little bit of value for you guys, and hopefully you enjoy these conversations as well. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast.
Great to have Kiko more involved on this one too.
Hey, I liked it. A lot of work back here.
Yeah.
So I can't do much cutting, but yeah, I love it. If I may add something,
Yeah.
you asked Josiah about why he thinks this conversation is important.
But you didn't ask Francisco.
You didn't ask me, so I'm just gonna ask myself, Francisco, why do you think
I
these
actually didn't
conversations are important?
We didn't want to ask him.
For me, I want to inspire people to do things that they love. I never thought in 100 years that I would be doing this kind of type of work. So thank you, Josiah, for bringing me into this. But I do want to inspire people. This is a beautiful industry. I love it. It's not that easy to get into or like actually, move forward with it. But once you get in there, I love it. And I love working with all these people. I love working with you guys. So if anybody takes anything away from this, is be inspired to do what you want, either in this industry or something else. But there's always options. There's always something to do. There's always jobs that you don't even know about. So if that helps anything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. Beautiful. Well said. With that, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. We will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.